Hola, Capitano, Camino, Canucko, day 32 from Portomarin. Sounds like it's in Italy, but it's not. It's in Spain. I walked here from Sarria today, probably the best day on the Camino for me until the last 10 minutes into town when I had to walk down what I've called Suicide Ridge, which was redonkulous. It was just down a steep decline. It was like rock climbing. It was crazy and it was dangerous. But somebody told me you have to do something that scares you every day. And that scared the shit out of me. So it's done. 4 more days left. And the Camino is wonderful. I've realized now that the first week of the Camino, she tried to kill me. I mean, there's no question. It was attempted murder. I was going to press charges, but they would have thrown me in jail. The second week, she gave up trying to kill me. She just tried to find ways to make my life miserable and painful, and she did a terrific job. The third week, we sort of came to an understanding. It was like a ceasefire, except she kept breaking it. Fourth week, we became friends. There was no problem. And she still did things to me that I wouldn't wish on anybody else, but we were pretty cool. Now, the Camino and I are BFFs, best fucking friends. So it's worked out. And I like to believe that as much as I've changed because of the Camino's changed because of me. Today was 24 kilometers, 7 hours, and it was a lot of straightaways. There were a lot of people leaving Sarria. As I mentioned the other day, some people's Camino starts in Sarria and finishes in Santiago, the last 100 kilometers. And by the way, I'm under 100 kilometers, probably closer to 90. Some people start walking from wherever they want, Saint-Jean-Pierre-de-Port or Burgos, and then come back the following year and finish it up or do it over 2 or 3 or 4 years. But that's their Camino. And a lot of these people carry everything they have in their backpack, which I call knapsack because I'm old school. And they don't make any plans, and wherever they get to, they stay in an albergue, and they share the albergue with another 10 or 20 people, and bunk beds, and bed bugs, and snorers, and schnorrers. And then there's some people like me who are princesses, in some people's estimation, because they have a private room and a private bathroom, and they get their luggage taken from point A to point B, and people come in every night and read me bedtime stories, and I get my feet and my calves and my shoulders and my massage. I get full massages. So everybody's Camino is different, and that's cool. And I think that's the point of it, is that you have to do your Camino. You don't have to prove anything to anybody else. Today, the highlight and the low light was there's a guy I've met who's a really nice guy. He reminds me of my old friend Jerry G, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. The man is crazy. He's on a pilgrimage to honor his late wife, who died of cancer, unfortunately, but he's a religious zealot. He's in your face. He's from Texas, but has been living in Switzerland for the last 25 years. It's a strange combination. And he bought me a late breakfast today, and he insisted on holding my hand and saying grace. He's barking up the wrong Jew, if you ask me. And then he's talking about big pharma and how he's going to come up with a cure for cancer through plants, and how water's good for you, but everything else isn't. He's one of these guys who just could go off one day like a postal worker. But for some reason, I like him and he likes me, and he gave me a hug and a kiss on my cheek, and he takes his hiking poles and he puts them in the shape of a cross. He's he's a loon, and I will never forget him. And hopefully I won't see too much of him because he's too much of him. So I spoke to Billy today. I hadn't spoken to him in almost 3 months. He was watching the Blue Jays-Dodgers game, which went into the 18th inning. So while he was watching that, I was beginning my hike this morning, and I spoke to him, and he gave me a play-by-play of the 18th inning, which unfortunately they lost, but it was great to hear from Billy. I also spoke to my friend Mike yesterday, and Steve, my friend Steve Shaft. It was his granddaughter's first birthday today. Happy birthday, Alina. And spoke to Kathy with a C for cute and cuddly. And she's really busy without me. So I hope there's room for me in her life when I get back. And that's it. I had my beer today. I wanted patatas bravas, but nobody had patatas bravas today. So I had fries and an ensalada mixta and a gran cerveza. And then for supper, it's raining here finally at night, and it's kind of cool. And I don't know anybody, so I went to the grocery store and picked up a big orange juice and a banana and some cookies. I shouldn't be having cookies, but I'm having a cookie. And that's it. Tomorrow is another day. I'm going to Palais de Reyes, and I think it's also 24 kilometers. And hopefully the rain will hold up while I'm walking. But I'm doing it, and I'm loving it. And I'm going to do no more Caminos. This is one and done still, but we get along now, and that's the important thing. As always and always and always, I love all of you. I appreciate all of you, and I love the comments and emails and encouragement. And I will see you when I see you, sometime in November, hopefully. So, buen camino, buenas noches, and bye-bye.